All right, Joabu students, let's begin this journey. Or should I say, grade 8 students, let's begin this journey into something more professional when it comes to creating music. This is going to be epic, and it all starts with opening your laptop and making sure you have Google Chrome. You cannot use Internet Explorer or Opera Mini or Safari. It's not because I'm mean, it's just because the application will not work on any other browser except Google Chrome. So make sure you download Google Chrome. And once you do have it, or if you already have it, that's fine. If you don't, get your one of your parents to help you. Go to where you usually type in a web address and type in edu.bandlab.com. Right there. Click enter, and then you'll come to this homepage that says Music Education for Everyone. Obviously, you're a student, so you're going to click Start as a Student, and it's going to ask you for a code. Now, the code you're going to type in, I've already created the classroom, so it's going to be N. Let me put that there. Click it. It's going to be NPJ53IP, not 1P, but IP. Then click Join. Now, Ms. Vanessa has been kind enough to allow us to use her email address just for this demonstration. So what you're going to do is, when it says your name, type in your name. So I'm going to type in Vanessa Obunde. Right there. Then for the email address, just type in your email address if your parents have allowed you to have one, or use your parents' email address, whichever one is accessible to you. Vanessa@gmail.com. Then give yourself a password. Please make sure you write your password somewhere so you don't forget it. It happens all the time. Ever since I was 13, I forgot so many passwords. It's ridiculous. So make sure you know what your password is in that so you won't forget it. Let me see. What will I put as my password? I'll go. Oh, yeah. All right, there. Then click sign up. Give it a second. All right, I'll ask you if you want to save. You can save if you want. I won't for now. Then it's going to ask you to create a username. So you can bring in a profile picture. Please put a profile picture so we don't just see this camera. It makes things a lot more interesting. So yeah, put a profile picture and then change your username to something that you'll also remember. Always important to remember to write down your username and your password because it's very easy to forget them. So I'm going to write Vobunde. Right there. That's going to be, so it can't have it as capital, it has to have these all small letters. Give it a second, see if it's all right. If the continue sign comes up, click over it. Give yourself a username that will allow me to know who you are. You can make it fun, but let there be at least one point where your name is written, all right? Then click continue. Then it will take you to your BandLab homepage right here. Now, before you continue, go to the email address that you typed it in, and you'll receive an email saying, welcome to BandLab, welcome to BandLab. But I want you to go to the one that says BandLab, confirm your email, right there. Then it says, hey, to get you up and running, you'll just need to click on the button and confirm your email address. So click confirm. It'll take you to another tab. Give it a second. There you go. It says your email is confirmed. You can close the tab and go back to the other BandLab tab right here. All right, so what we have over here is really simple. I'm going to move by real quick so we can really get to the fun stuff. This top part is going to be the school you're in, obviously Joabu School, and this part is going to be the class, so grade 8 music production. If you want it to look different, just click here and it'll look different, whichever one you want. So then click on grade 8 music production, that's your class. And over here where it says latest activity, you'll see that your teacher, Magnus Bohm, has already posted something saying, let's loop it round. That's lesson 1. So I'll be posting a lot of assignments over here and on Teams. And I'll also be marking them here and on Teams, but on Teams it'll be in more detail. So even though you see yourself with an assignment on Teams, you're obviously going to do it here, but I'll mark it on Teams, all right? So from here, click. You have a classroom. This is where everything general will be. Then you have your assignments and your members. Members will be all the members of your class and your teachers and so on, which for now it's only me. So click on assignments, and then you'll see what assignments you've had, what has been assigned, what has been returned, and I'll grade it here, but the one that will be in detail will be on Teams. And then at the top right hand side, this is your profile settings, your chat if you want to talk to me. Yeah, make sure you confirm your email. notifications in case I post another assignment or just anything that comes up. But this is where the magic begins. Click on that folder that has that sign that's called your library. And you're going to click here on this green sign that says create project. Now give it a second. What we're doing right now is opening a digital audio workstation. That's called a DAW. And this is what professional musicians use to create music. Before we can go any further, make sure you have a good pair of headphones, because if you use your computer's inbuilt speakers or your laptop's inbuilt speakers, they're not good enough, so they will not be able to handle what we're going to be doing. So make sure you have a good pair of headphones and use those well. All right, so now once your DAW is loaded, we're going to click, you're going to see all these different things, but I want you to click on the bottom right that says browse loops right there. And now, welcome to your digital audio workstation. On your right side, you'll see it has all these different categories, from saxophone, jazz, pop to ultra bounce to drill to Zulu porridge. But let's hear how they actually sound. So we're going to click each play button right there. All right, that's cool. That's really interesting. Let's see this one bounce.
Get low, 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 get.
All right, this is why you're going to need a pair of headphones, because if you don't, you won't be able to hear all that bass and all those small details. Now click where it says on packs right over here. And now what you'll see is a lot of, I think it's even 1,000 or more different packs of musical loops. And what you have is you're going to have two different kinds of loops. You're going to have instrumental loops, which are mainly specific instruments. So here we have dance pianos, driven drums, e-bow, guitar, claps and snares for drums. But we don't want to focus on instrumental loops. We want to get more of genre loops. So different genres of music like trap, rap, hip hop, rock, country, techno, electronic, all of that. There are many more genres. The reason why we're looking for those categories is because they have more loops there, so allow you to be more creatively free. So let's scroll down and find some different genres rather than, so here, deep house stabs, that's a nice genre. And over here we'll find a lot of loops. Yeah, so right now just pause the video and click on play. Just experiment, just trial and error, see what you like, what you don't like, and just keep scrolling down. Find something that you really like. I'm going to go with classic city pop. It looks interesting. Yeah, I'm not going to go any further. That already sounds really cool. So choose whichever one you want and then come back to the video. All right, hopefully you've chosen something. Now, what we're going to do is the same stuff we've done in Crow Music Lab when it comes to pitch, tempo, beat, melody, harmony. We're going to apply every single bit of that here. Nothing that we've done is wasted. And that's why this is so brilliant, because this is what professional musicians actually use. And what we've come from Crow Music Lab, even though it's like level 1, this is going to take us to a whole nother dimension of music. So first of all, just like we did in Crow Music Lab, we're going to need to create our foundation. And how do we create our foundation? We need our beats. So that's going to be our drums or anything that says beats, and then we're going to need our bass. Those are the two main instruments that really hold down the foundation of music. Don't go any further until you find them. So here I have where it says beats. Now notice on this right side, it has 3 different things. Where it says bass, for example, that shows the instrument. This number shows the tempo, so that's how quick it is in BPM. BPM stands for beats per minute, and that'll also be over here. All right, and then the last one is key. What key are in? A major, A flat major, E sharp, E major, F major, and so on. Remember, we did that in Crow Music Lab. Now, so find some beats that you like. Let me listen to some of these and see what I like. All right, not bad. Let's hear number 3. All right, has a kick and a snare. I'm going to use that. So let me drag it. So click and drag it where it's over here. Then you see it creates a track. So this right here is a track. So I'm going to drag this to the left to number 1 so you can start where it's supposed to start. Now, just a quick thing. What we have over here, this triangle thing is very important. This is called your playhead. Wherever the playhead goes is what you'll hear. So there are 2 ways you can activate the playhead. You can click play over here, or or you can use the shortcuts. And I really want you to learn the shortcuts because it allows you to move a lot quicker and just makes you a lot more smarter. So one shortcut for play is just press your space bar. Simple. And then if you want to pause, click your space bar again. Now, if you want to go back to the beginning, you can click this arrow over here and it'll take you back to the beginning. Or you can simply click enter on your keyboard. That's another shortcut. If you want to see all these shortcuts that I'm telling you, click help and then go to shortcuts and it'll show you all these different shortcuts. Try and learn as much as you can, the ones that are useful to you, because they will be very, very useful. Don't be boring and always just look for each and every button, all right? All right, so I have my beat. Let me go and get my bass. So let me find a bass. So right now the beat doesn't have a key, and that's fine. Usually want to match up the key, but since the drums don't have a key, so we don't have to worry about that. But now when you get to the bass, now we have to pay attention to what key we're going to use. All right, let me try this one. Let me try number 4. Let me try number 5. All right, let me drag that there. So I'm going to drag it in here. It's going to create another track. Now, one other thing, just like Chrome Music Lab, you don't want to have a lot of tabs open or a lot of things running on your computer. Otherwise, it's going to be very slow. Because since it's a digital audio workstation, a DAW, it's going to require a lot of processing power. So make sure you give it that processing power by not putting in too much stuff. All right. So I'm going to put that there. Now, if you ever make a mistake, one beautiful thing that's right here is called the undo. So like, let's say if by accident I delete this. Oh no, it's gone. What do I do? Just click here where it says this back. Boom. A shortcut for undoing is Command Z. For if you're using Windows, Control Z all the time. But if you want to redo, let's see what redo is. Redo would be Control, Shift, and then Z. So let's say I delete this, and then I want to undo. All right, it comes back. If I want to redo, Control, Shift, Z, it deletes again. So try and use those shortcuts to your advantage. So let's hear how our beat and our bass sound. I like that. That's cool. All right, so now that's our foundation. Now, what happens when I go over here? Yeah. And then I keep pressing play. Notice the playhead just keeps moving. It just keeps moving. So I don't want that. I want it to keep looping back. So that's the point of today's lesson. How do I get to loop back? Simple. You can click this cycle button. And notice, you see this faint red line over here where the bars are. By these numbers show the bars. Bar 1, bar 2, bar 3, bar 4, bar 5. And then the small tickers show the beats in the bar, just like in Chrome Music Lab. So this is beat 1, beat 2, beat 3, beat 4. 4 beats in every bar, all right? So this faint red line shows what would be cycled and what would be looped. Now, if I want to activate it, I just go to this small looping circles, arrows right here. I click those, and now all of a sudden, it highlights itself. So now the cycle is on. So let me try to drag my playhead here. Let's see what happens. Will it just keep on going, or will it change somehow? Yeah, so that's called a loop. Now, a shortcut for this cycle button, instead of having to click it all the time, is just C. Press C. Notice what happens when I press C. It goes faint, it deactivates. Press C, it activates again. So that's what you want to know. Learn those shortcuts. They're really helpful. All right, so now that I have my foundation, I have my beats and my bass. Let me add... Oh, one thing, because there's so many because there's so many different loops, you want to write it down somewhere. So this is Classic City Pop. I'm going to click on lyrics and notes and just write it here. Classic City Pop. Reason? Because let's say I go to my loops, then I go back to my packs, and now I'm all over here. I'm like, oh man, what happened to my loops? So if I wrote it down, I can check to see, all right, lyrics and notes. All right, I wrote Classic City Pop. So let me go to my loops. Search classic. I don't even have to type the whole thing. I can just type classic. Let's see what comes up. Come on, show me my loops. If that takes a bit of time, let me type in Classic City. There it is, classic city pop. So make sure you write it down in the lyrics so you don't get lost. All right, so let me go to my next part. I want some middle section. So I want some keyboard or I want some synth. A synth is just a short form for synthesizer. It's used all the time. Don't be scared of it. It's really, really cool. So let's see, what does this sound like, this keyboard. All right. One thing to note, we're in the key of A major. So now if something doesn't have a key, that's fine. Don't have to worry about it. If it's 105 here, it'll automatically be here. Don't worry about the BPM, but worry about the key. Make sure the key over here and the key over here are exactly the same. Otherwise, it'll sound, ugh. All right? Major thing. Have fun, but make sure you get those fundamentals right. So let's see. So I have that synth was cool. Let me see what these flute synths are like. Let me try this one here. Let me try this one. Let me try that. That sounds interesting. All right, so I'll drag it here and then drag it to the beginning. Let's see how they sound together. Back to the beginning, press enter, press space to start. That's interesting. All right, now let me add another thing. So that's my middle section right there. Let me try and add, let's see, what's this organ stuff? All right, some brass. Ooh. In fact, let me remove this. I'm going to put some of this. I like the way this sounds. Ooh, that sounds really cool. Let's see how that sounds in my track. Yeah, that's what I want. All right, my cycle is activated, so it's all looping. Remember to activate your cycle so it loops. All right, so I like that. Let me give it another melody. So I'm going to look for like a synth or a guitar. Let's see what we have here. So these are my flute synths. Let's see what else we have. And in the key of A major, that's very important. Let's see this one. Ooh, that sounds cool already. All right, let me put that in there. So I'm going to drag it, put it in right there. Drag it. If you want to close these loops, just click loops over there and it will close up. Oh, okay, so we've noticed this is a bit longer. Let's see how it sounds. Oh, this sounds really cool. All right, so notice because the cycle ends at the 4th bar, I mean just before the 5th bar starts, the rest of the synth keys won't be heard. So if I want it to be heard, I can extend all of this up until the cycle. And now let me bring my playhead right over here. All right, let's see what happens. All right. So my synth keys down here is still continuing, but these ones stop. Why? Because they only reach the end of the 4th bar. So if I want to extend them, the 2 ways you can do this. You can click on it and right click and click copy, and then and then just click over here and click paste. Just make sure it lines up perfectly right there. Now that's one way. The other way, obviously, I want you to learn the shortcut. So a simple shortcut is press the track and click Control C. If you're using a Mac, that's Command C, and then click Command V to paste. All these are written in help. So Command C to copy, then Command V to paste right there. So make sure you line it up. But if you want to use another way, there's another way which you can just click on it and then go to the top right hand side of that specific track. You'll see an arrow. Just drag that arrow out and make sure it's exactly double that. All right, just like that. So now let's listen to how that sounds. Let's take it from the top. So how do you get the top? Press enter. Let's press play. really like the way that sounds. So if I wanted, let's learn what these mean over here, M and S. So if I just wanted to hear if I wanted to mute one specific track, I just click that. So now this beat will be muted. Let's hear how it sounds from the beginning. So now you can't hear it. But if I click it again, it's unmuted. Now you hear the beat. Then mute it again. Now the next one is S. S means solo. So if you just want to hear that specific track, you click on S. So let me take it to the beginning. Let me click S. I'll just hear my beat. See, just my beat. And let's say if I want to bring another thing, I can click my organ solo over there. So now I'll hear both of them. Both of them are solos. Let's say if I want to hear my silver yacht, remove my flute synth and just hear my synth keys. No beat. Alright, just like that. So if you ever want to hear just one specific track, click solo. If you want to hear all your tracks, but just maybe want to remove one, click mute. Just like that. Cool. Alright, and that's it for our first lesson. I want you to just create those loops. So click your loops over here at the bottom right. Make sure you type in your loops on your lyrics and /notes, just so you can know what it is in case one of your loops just disappears for some reason. Now, I want to be a bit organized, so just name this beat, name this space. It's always good to be organized. It makes your workflow a lot easier. I'm going to call this organ synth, and then I'll call this keys synth. All right. Now name your project. I'm going to call this easy flowing. And then I'm going to click save. That's going to save my project. Just like that. All right, so my project is saved. So let me go to my library. Now, if you want to submit this as an assignment, it's really easy. All you do is go click BandLab over here. That takes you home to your home page. Let's give it a sec. But if it takes long, just be patient with some of these things, because a digital processing takes time. It's not like going on Facebook or going on Instagram. And I know none of you go on Facebook because you're too young. Facebook's for old people, but that's nevertheless, you know what I mean. So click start assignment right there. So the two ways you can start. You can start and teach an assignment. Let's say if you haven't done anything, or you can go to personal project. So since we did this as a personal project, this is in my library. So I'm going to click easy flowing. I'm going to click next. Give it some time. It's going to load. Loading. All right there. Still loading. Make sure you have a good laptop, a good computer. It's not going to work on a computer built in 2005. All right, now if you're happy with this, all you have to do is click submit. And then you can give me a little note and say, sir, this music makes me feel like I'm fishing. Then drop in a smiley face. If you want, you don't have to drop in a smiley face, but it just makes things a little bit nicer. All right, there you go, cowboy. All right, then click submit. So this is if you're submitting an assignment. And don't forget your loops are right down here. So it's taking some time to submit. Oh, just one thing to note. When it comes to assignments on BandLab, it's very unforgiving. So if the due date is on Friday at 6 p.m., there's no way it's going to allow you to submit it slightly later. If you submit it later, it'll give you a 0. And since we don't want you to get zeros, just do it on time. It's super simple. All right, so here it is. You've just submitted the assignment, and I will see it in assignments. And yeah, so Vanessa has just submitted hers, Miss Vanessa. And here it is. Let's hear it one more time. So have fun, have a lot of fun with this, and do it well. and experiment. Remember, this is all about trial and error. Find what you really like, and when you find what you really like, forget about what you liked and find something else that you like. Just keep going around until you just get very comfortable with it. And I'm super excited to see what you come up with. So this is the end of our first lesson. Have fun, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.